It starts with why. Just thinking about this, I came back from a walk a little bit ago. A little hot. I didn't think it was going to be that hot out there. It's hot out there. Starts with your why. So let me get to that real quick. And by the way, if you hang with me, it shouldn't be more than say 5-6 minutes. I'll give you my prediction on who the winner of the Super Bowl is going to be, and I'd be willing to bet money on it. Not that I will, but because it's going to be based on this. It starts with your why. Now, most people will nod their heads and say, yeah, sure, sure, but really don't realize how critical that is. I'm going to give you some quick examples. For example, there was a guy, it was an unknown guy at one time in the 70s who was a mediocre bit player in a couple of movies that he'd done. I always look for movies that I know he's been in. This guy's name was Sylvester Stallone. He wrote a script. It was a studio that offered to buy it from him for $250,000. It was $250,000 and change more than he had. He didn't have a nickel to his name. The story goes that he actually sold his dog for $25 because he was that broke. But his why was so strong that he refused the $250,000, knowing full well that it was going to get thrown up on the shelf and maybe never get made. So he would have been $250,000 richer, but hundreds of millions poorer because he would have never had done what he did. The why is why he turned the money down. The why is what has made him successful. There's other people like Michael Jordan. Why, after he got kicked off a high school basketball team, became a legend. He didn't become a legend overnight, though. He had to base everything on his why, and he kept modifying his why and improving it, like honing it, sharpening it, putting an edge on it, making it sharper each and every day. So what is your why? I can tell you today, for example, there's going to be a lot of whys, and that the team with that why is going to be the winner, without a doubt, with the best why. There's going to be individual whys and there's going to be team whys. And the individual whys you may not ever see. You'll see a lineman blocking, throwing that little extra oomph into that block, making sure he stays on that guy until he takes him all the way down. Or somebody playing defense and following just a little bit closer, just a little bit better, might even getting called on a foul or a penalty for it. That's his why. These whys have been built over decades, right? But that doesn't mean you can't start now. If you build your why, it's not the money. It's never the money. If Sylvester Stallone would have been doing his for the money, he'd be $250 richer and hundreds of million dollars poorer. I cannot emphasize that enough. Go ask Arnold Schwarzenegger what his why was when he was 15 years old and he was a scrawny kid living in this podunk town somewhere in Austria named Graz. He was the father of a police chief and he was expected to go into the police force. But his why was so strong that he went with this ridiculous long name and became a famous actor. Maybe not the greatest actor, but he sure did a lot more movies than I've ever done. What's his why? What's your why? If I know your why and I'm competing against you, I can defeat you. If I know your why isn't strong enough, I'll crush you. And you're probably a better player than I am. But if I know your why, I know when you'll quit. If you're doing it for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you're doing it for anything else but your why, you won't get there. You have to have a strong why. It's not the money, it's not the residual income thing that we were talking about a couple of days. It's what you're doing. You need to write your why down. Why am I doing what I'm doing? I'll plain and simple. I'm not doing it for the money. I never really have. It's not that I don't need money. It's not that I don't want more money. It's not that I don't like money. It's that it doesn't motivate me. It doesn't. I can't get it to motivate me. But you know what juices me? Knowing that I'm helping somebody out there that has had a lot of failures in his life or her life. Somebody that's struggled. Somebody that's looked at by everybody else and frowned at and said, this guy is a loser. This gal's a loser. They'll never get nowhere. So I've worked with losers and I've helped them turn their lives around. I worked with a woman once that I hired that had such a terrible self-image. She was afraid to drive on the freeway. She'd have to take surface streets to wherever I sent her. And she turned out to be one of my best employees ever and made me a lot of money because of that. And she still thanks me. It's not because I'm so cool or I'm so special, but I read her why and I went, she needs a stronger why and I'm going to help her get one. So, who's the team? What's the team today? It's real simple. Team with a greater why. The team with the individual players that have come together and said, this is my why, And that why will be what's fed into the team. You'll see little things, you'll see big plays and you'll see major plays and people yelling and screaming or whatever, but you're not going to see the little stuff. So the stuff that even the camera can't see because it's so close. Why is that linebacker playing with a broken arm? He could stay home. He's still going to collect the check. If the team wins, he still gets a check. It's not the money. It's never the money. It's never the money. It sounds great. Yeah, we want to get rewarded. We want to get paid for what we believe we are worth. But better than that, they'll be recognized for their why. Why did he do it? And he's going to get a lot of people asking him after the game as well. Always. Do it for your why. My prediction is simple. The team with the strongest why is the team that wins every single time. Be good. Keep it real. Still can't shut it off.